Day on Florida Sportsman Best Boat. For anglers who want to chase fish in shallow water, we'll be taking a look at the Dolphin 16 Super Skiff Pro, a flats boat with an overall length of 15 feet 10 inches, a beam of 6 feet, and max horsepower rating of 75. Three standout features on the Dolphin 16 Super Skiff Pro. With no room for error when sight casting a weary flats fish, a flat casting deck will ensure no lines become hung up during a cast, and that there's room for more than one angler when the bite gets hot. When fishing solo, having the ability to mount an electric trolling motor on the bow is a must. A trolling motor allows anglers to silently move around in search of fish without the need for a separate operator. If stalking fish in the skinniest of waters gets your blood pumping, bring a friend. You'll want to use a polling platform. Pulling the boat from a raised platform will allow one person to cast from the bow, while another maneuvers the boat from a higher position at the stern, giving them the ability to move silently across the flats and spot fish that would otherwise go unnoticed.
Tell you what, that little Dolphin Super Skiff hit a target with me, okay? It's really shallow. It's almost technical polling skiff type shallow, but it can cross a bay, okay? A little chop on the water doesn't bother that boat.
It still has a lot of dead rides at the transom. So many technical polling skiffs are small flats boats. They're flat at the bottom, and they do that to keep a shallow draft. But if you got to cross some chop, which on most days you do, that boat's up to the task. This is the 16-foot Dolphin Super Skiff Pro. And as flats boats go, this one kind of blurs the line between a technical polling skiff and a true flats boat because it's got a lot of flats boat features that we see in the larger boat, but it'll get really, really skinny up there where the technical polling skiffs normally only fit.
Well, think about the spray rail. It's got a spray rail that goes all the way around. If you're in a little more open water, it'll keep water from coming in the boat.
Well, it'll help keep you dry, but I'm looking here at this front deck. They put a front deck on it large enough to where two people can get up here and fish, and you have a bow-mounted trolling motor. You have plenty of room. Trolling motor is removable. Let's say you're going to go fly fishing, you're going to use two guys, and you're going to be pulling. I'm going to be pushing you around on the flats, and you leave the trolling motor at home. But if you're fishing by yourself, you certainly can't fish off the back, so you need it.
Having a polling platform is great, and a lot of your guides will tell you that it's easier to get close to heavily pressured fish in real shallow water with a polling platform than it is a trolling motor. But it is so much harder to fish by yourself from the platform. If you're by yourself, you're a lot more comfortable with the trolling motor.
Well, plus if you're in deeper water, it's really hard to pole in 8 or 9 feet of water. So if you're in deep water, you really need the trolling motor. But at least the boat's versatile enough to have both. You have the trolling motor up here, you have the polling platform in the back. So you don't have to just fish shallow water, you don't have to just fish deep water, you can do both.
Let's take a look at the cockpit. It's laid out pretty well for a flats boat. Man, little boat, little console. It is small, but it is laid out to have everything you need. Garmin screen, all your controls are within easy reach, and very little weight, very little wasted space.
I'm looking at their construction. They went with a 3-piece construction. And basically what you have a hull, you've got an inner liner, and you have a ring deck. What that does, it gives you a nice molded interior, so it's not just, webbed over glass or anything. You've got built-in rod holders under your gunnels, and you've got these nice big wide gunnels that you can store stuff underneath. So there's 3-piece construction, it's strong, but it gives you a nice clean fit and finish.
Well, you have to have, if you're gonna fly fish, you've got to have a clean deck. And that's got this, and the rods are where they belong, below the deck. So they're not in the way, you're not gonna snag anything on them, and thank you God, you're not gonna step on a $700 fly rod. But seating simple but perfect, this backrest is removable, nice live well underneath it.
Well, actually you have two, because there's another one under the front seat of the console. So if you want to run 2 different types of bait, or during the day you use the one up and you want to take some of the water out and save the weight, maybe you're fishing a tournament, your bait's under here, you put a big redfish back there. Find a boat this small with 2 nice big live wells like that, that's pretty cool.
If you're a 2-man team that fishes shallow water, that wants to be able to get up skinny and compete, this is a very serious contender for you to look at.
Well, you've got big wide gunnels too for walking fore and aft. You hook a big fish, you can run to the back of the boat, you don't have to step down into the cockpit. But once back there, there's additional storage under the rear deck, and it's molded. Here again, it's much like what the cockpit is, being that it's a molded piece that's underneath there. It's a bucket, it's pretty, easy to clean, it just looks good. They went with an extra high polling platform, mainly because this boat is a jack plate. You run the motor all the way up, you trim the motor all the way up, the motor's not going to hit the bottom of the polling platform.
And like you always say, bring me another inch higher off the deck, several more feet further I can see out front.
Well, I really wouldn't classify this boat as a technical polling skiff. I mean, there's other ones out there that might draw a little bit less water, but where this boat's going to make it up, it's going to ride better if you have to cross a choppy bay. So what they've done, like we had said earlier, they've kind of blended those two together, flats boat, technical pole and skiff, and I think they've taken the best out of both worlds to come up with this design.
Basically what you're saying is she fishes really skinny, and yet you don't have to be nervous if you've got to cross Florida Bay to get somewhere.